Hello and welcome back to our WordPress dashboard tutorials. In this particular video, I'm going to be showing you all things WooCommerce. We're going to be going over where you go to access your orders, as well as where to go to add products, and also edit your products. And further to that, I will also show you where to go to edit your settings, if it does call for that. And that's usually going to be like email settings, as well as your shipping and payment settings, maybe even tax settings. So please keep in mind that this is a very general video. This might be a little lengthy, but just take notes as you go along. Further to that, we have videos on our InMotion Hosting Support Center that are, along the same lines of adding products and things of that nature, but also keep in mind that WooCommerce.com has their very own documentation on how things work and things like that. So, but as always, please feel free to reach out to our updates team if you have questions. They will be more than happy to assist you. Okay. So first and foremost, I'm going to show you where to go like for the general things. So if you just click on WooCommerce, this is just going to take you into the dashboard. This is just a brand new installation of WooCommerce. So there's nothing that's really going to be in here per se. But as you can see, as this is loading, this is where everything is pretty much. So you got orders, your customer list is going to show up in here. Coupons is where, it's under WooCommerce. Settings, like your status, that's usually for like troubleshooting and stuff like that. So the subscriptions are for if you purchase anything through WooCommerce and, like you want to see like what all you subscribe to and things like that. So we're actually just gonna, oh, here, now it wants to load. It usually does take a second to do that. And again, this is just a very basic setup. This is brand new, so none of this has been set up yet. So that's why it looks like that. But I'm gonna first show you orders. So this is where you're gonna be spending a lot of your time. Now, before I jump into how to create an order, etc., keep in mind that WooCommerce and this dashboard are for the administrative side of things. This does not capture your money. That is always going to be in the payment gateway side of things, whether that is PayPal, Stripe, Square, Authorize.net, whatever would have you. That's going to be on that side. Now, for your orders that come in here, they are going to be tied to your payment gateway. So like if you have to do a refund or anything, all of that's going to be tied together. But please keep in mind that the dashboard is for the administrative side of things. You are still going to be getting email notifications whenever an order comes in, whenever a payment has been made to you. So if you don't ever have to come in the dashboard, that is fine. But again, going back to the main video, it is always important to come in this dashboard at least 1 to 2 times a month because you have software updates that usually have to be ran. So keep that in mind as you're maintaining your website. So as you can see, there are no orders here. But I'm going to show you how to add a manual order. And then, of course, I will show you, how you can go back and edit. So we're just going to do add order. Actually, we won't be able to really like go in depth because we don't have any products yet. But at any rate, I just want to show you this screen. Okay. So this is literally like how the screen is going to look. As you can see, it generates just an order number for you. It tells you the date it's created, whatever status you want to set it as. And again, this is for manual orders. Maybe somebody contacted you directly. Maybe you had like, just like a pop-up show somewhere and you now want to just like manage the orders within this dashboard as well. Again, going back to it being the administrative side of things. So, of course, it could be, like for your customer, it could be a guest, or if you have had this person log into your site before, you can always search for them right here. Their billing information will show up right here. Their shipping information will show up right here. This is where it will show what they ordered, if there was tax, if there was shipping, pretty much like all of that just shows right here. Okay. If it's a downloadable product, that information is going to show down here. Okay. Now, there's some other things that you can do. As far as like the actions are concerned, you can email an invoice and order details to your customer. You can resend the new order notification. So that's just an email back to you. Or if you are doing like one-time downloads, this is where you can regenerate your download permissions. For order notes, you can set private notes or you can send notes to your customer. So if there was a customer set up right here, their email address would show up right here. You can select note to customer, and this is where you can send a tracking number. This is where you can send them more information and things of that nature. So definitely keep that in mind. So yeah, again, this is just a manual order. There's not much we can do in here because we don't have any products yet. But yeah, so all of the order details will show up in the order itself. Okay. And if you do want to go ahead and just create the manual order, all you got to do is just hit create. You might, like, if it's already taken care of, you can just do completed, or if it's something that's on hold, maybe it's like a back ordered item of some sort, whatever you want the status to be, you can select it from here. Okay. So that's where you go to do that. All right. So, once, you have orders in your dashboard, again, this, under orders right here is where it's going to show. So again, we don't have any, but this is that screen where they would show, and they would show up in a list, just like how Pages looks, just like how Post looks, testimonials, etc. So yeah, so just keep in mind, this is where you would normally go for that. All right. Next, I'm going to show you coupons. So coupons is very self-explanatory. We're going to do create your first coupon. Pretty much you want to give it, this title right here is going to be the coupon code. So you can generate one, or you can say 10 off, like if it's 10% off, whatever you want to call it. This is the coupon code right here. Now, you can put a description if you want. That's totally optional. It's up to you. This is where you can put all of the information. So general is going to be like your discount type, the coupon amount, if you want to allow free shipping, and if it expires. The usage restriction is if they have to spend a minimum amount of money or a maximum amount of money. Okay. Individual use, like if you have other coupons and you don't want this to be able to be used with other coupons, that is totally fine. Things like that. So if you want to restrict this coupon to specific products, like if you have products on sale, like if you have a sales category, that would show right here. Exclude categories, allowed emails, and furthermore, all of these little question marks will give you more information on what these fields are. All right. Usage limits. If you want to do unlimited usage per coupon or unlimited usage per user, it's up to you. Again, look over these little question marks to make sure that you're entering stuff right. And if you're not sure, reach out to updates. But also WooCommerce has a lot of good resources and detailed information. All right. So once you're done creating this coupon, you can click publish. Now, when you publish a coupon, you have to have it live somewhere on the site. So that could mean maybe you want to put it in your slideshow. Maybe you want to create a blog post. If you have a blog on your site, maybe you want to put it on the homepage, or maybe you just need help with it. At any rate, this coupon code has to go somewhere. Or another thing that people do normally is they'll send it out to their customers like in an email blast. Okay. So just keep in mind that when this gets published, this doesn't go anywhere on the site. This is just back-end functionality. So if somebody enters your coupon code, they'll be able to use it. All right. So it definitely has to live somewhere. Okay. All right. So I'm going to just quickly go over reports. Reports are if you just want to see how you did in the last, year, last month, this month, 7 days, or just a custom report. You can do sales by product, category, coupons by date, customer downloads, things like that. So this is where you can go to run any sort of reports. Of course, the more orders you get, all of that data will show up right here. All right, so now I'm going to show you where to go for settings. So settings is literally where you set up everything, okay? So you got general, products, shipping, payments, account privacy, emails. Integration is just some, just more advanced tasks. Sometimes when you install specific WooCommerce plugins, you'll see stuff that shows up under integration. Advanced settings. These are some new ones, multi-currency and subscriptions. WooCommerce has changed immensely over the years. So as it updates, settings update. So, all right, because these never used to exist. So, all right. But at any rate, you can kind of go through your settings as needed. I think for the most part, you would probably be looking into your payment settings because these are things that are usually having to be set up by the customer. It's rare if you do have to, but sometimes PayPal requires that you connect your PayPal account. The same with Square, the same with Stripe. So definitely just keep that in mind, okay? This is where all the payment methods would show up, all right? So, I just want to keep reiterating, throughout this video, if you have questions, reach out to our updates team, okay? All right, so now we're going to get into the main task that you would be doing, and that is adding products. So we're going to just go to all products first. And as you can see, no products exist. I'm going to show you how to add a simple product, variable product, downloadable product, and then just a regular virtual simple product, okay? Now, depending on your site's functionality, you might have gift cards, and that would be considered a type of product, but you have to have that particular plugin installed for that to be the case. And of course, all plugins act differently, so not all gift cards require that you create a product that is a gift card. It just really depends on the actual product. But at any rate, I'll show you how to add all of these products. And then in this part of the video, we're also going to talk about categories as well. So we're going to first start with just adding a simple product. So we can click add new at the top or on the left. It takes us all into the same place. Now, so I'm going to just go over all of the different screens or, fields that you'll see. So when creating a product, you want to give it a product name. So we're going to call this simple product. All right. This particular editor right here is for a description that will show underneath your product image as well as your product short description. So this is like a long description, and this is completely optional. We do try to get our customers to add the description of their products in this short description down here, because this is what shows up next to the image. And, me as an end user, I like to see all the information like right by the picture because that's where I'm looking. Okay. So just know that this area for description is just completely optional. Again, our Yoast SEO section that, of the plugin that we always use for on-page SEO, you can set your focus key phrase for your product right here. If you have product categories, you can check these off right here so that your products show up under these specific categories. You can add categories from this screen as well. So we'll just do category 1, add new category. If we want a subcategory of category 1, we can do subcategory. All right. And it'll show underneath. And as you can see, we got our two categories. So this is a way that you can add categories to your WooCommerce, like products. You can also come in here and I'll show you how to do that next after we go over the products. All right. So, all right. So I have some categories that this is going to be assigned to. Going to just type in here longer description. All right. Okay. All right, so now down here we have product image. So the product image is just the main image. So if you've been in the dashboard so far, you've seen like the use of like featured images, like for if you have a blog or if you have like a leaderboard area. This is your main image, usually like a square image that shows up for your particular product. So I'm just going to select this one, and that's going to be my product image. You also have the option for a product gallery. So you can click on add product gallery images, and I'm just going to click, I'm going to hold down my control key to select a few. And again, these are just very random that I'm selecting. Again, just a very general thing. I'm just going to add this to the gallery. I can move these around as needed. I can remove stuff, and there you go. Okay. All right. So now down here is where you're going to be entering all of the information for this particular product. So this is where you're going to enter your price, if it has a sale price. Inventory, if you want to set stock for your inventory, you can do that here. You can also enter SKU numbers right here as well. All right, so all right, and if you want to allow back orders and also like a low stock threshold, again, these little question marks give you more information. The shipping, so if you are planning to use USPS, UPS, or FedEx, my suggestion to you would always be to have weight and dimensions. USPS requires just weight, but UPS and FedEx, they require weight and dimensions. So just kind of get in the use of just like the habit of, just entering weight and dimensions in general. And again, like, if you're not sure of what to do, you can just, look over these. Like it's going to tell you to do it in decimal form. Also in the settings of WooCommerce, and usually this is already set for you. Again, this was just a brand new installation of WooCommerce, so nothing specific had been added. But the weight, we can change it to pounds, kilograms, and other measurements. The same with dimensions. It can be inches, centimeters, etc. Okay. So, so whatever the weight and dimensions are for the product, you're going to want to put that in here. Okay. So, linked products is if you want to upsell or cross sell. And this gives you more information on what an upsell and a cross sell does. Attributes are for if you have a simple product, but you want to show some like options for it. And we'll be going over attributes when we create a variable product. So my suggestion would be for simple products to not use attributes, but just know that you can if you want. Okay. For simple products, it's just like single products. So like you're selling just a very standard coffee mug, or just like, I don't know, just like, something that doesn't give your end user the option to have to choose like a size or anything like that. That's usually like reserved for like clothing or maybe something that has like a pattern on it or whatever. But like, for simple products, meaning it's just a standalone product and you don't need to, like, all they got to do is hit add to cart and that's it. Okay. So you do have some advanced settings, purchase note, which is an optional note to send to the customer after purchase. menu order. This can be a little tricky depending on how many products you tend to have in your dashboard. Like if you have 100 products and you want to order them in a certain way, you can do custom ordering. There are plugins out there, and as well as like coding out there that can do specific ordering if you don't like what WooCommerce comes with out of the box. All right. You also have the option to enable reviews on your products, and it will just pretty much put a tab next to your description right here. And also, like, there will be like a specifications tab, and that's where your weight and dimensions is going to show up right there as well. Okay. All right, so that's pretty much it. And then, of course, like this just gives you the option to get more options. All right. But for simple products, we're not doing much in here. We're just going to manage the stock. We're just going to give it a regular price and a sale price. We're not going to link products because we don't have any other products yet. Shipping, well, in this case, we're not going to add any weight and dimensions. But, you know, again, we'd enter that here, you know, anyway. So, all right. And then down here is going to be the description that shows to the right of your product image. Okay. All right. So that is pretty much it. So with anything, if you're not ready for this to go live to the site yet, hit save draft and you can come back to it at a later time. If you want to see how it looks, you can click on preview, especially when you're working in this visual editor. Sometimes you need to do that. But if you feel like it's good, hit publish and you're all set. Okay, so before we hit publish, I do want to show what this screen will actually look like. So we're just going to do preview, and this is going to show us what our product page will look like. So as you can see, the main image is right here. This is the gallery right here. Product information, categories that it belongs to. This is just a sidebar that can be modified as needed in the widgets area of the dashboard. This is if you have something in your cart. Usually our WooCommerce setup sites will have like a bar at the top that we code for you that has like a mini cart. So if somebody navigates off of a shop page, they'll still have access to get to the cart. So, but again, keep in mind, this is very general information. Okay. But, this is, just explaining everything again. So this is, the short description that showed at the very bottom right here. This is right here. This is your main image. This shows how many is in stock. Again, this is just a simple product. Now down here is the longer description. This is that additional information that gives you the weight and dimensions and if there are any reviews. Okay, so we're just going to go ahead and publish this, and we're going to move on to the next type of product. All right, just waiting for this to go. All right, so the next type of product that we are going to add is a variation, or it's a variable product. Variable product just means a product that you can have that, allows options, okay? So before we set up a variable product, we have to add attributes. That's where our options are going to live. So we're going to first go to attributes. And while we're in this screen, this is going to be the general options for your, like the overall attribute for your options. Okay. So what that usually means is stuff that's like size, color, pattern, things like that. So we're going to do 3. We'll do size. Just do add attribute. And of course we can just enter it and press enter if we wanted to, but just, gonna do it this way. All right. And we'll do pattern, even though that's kind of like color. All right. So now I have all of my main attributes in here. Now I have to give them terms. So we're gonna start off with color, and we're gonna click on configure terms for color. So from here, it's going to be a very similar screen. We're going to go ahead and just do red, blue, and yellow. All right. Got that in here. I can move these around as needed, as you can see, and that's it. So I've configured the terms for my color. I'm going to go back to attributes because now I want to continue adding terms for my other things. So we're going to do patterns next. And I'm just going to, make up some patterns. Oops. That would happen, right? All right. And we're back. All right. So I'm just going to add 2. All right. And we'll just do let's see, another pattern. We'll do floral. All right, so we got 3 different patterns in here. Going to go back to attributes. And now I'm going to configure the terms for size. All right. So we'll do small, medium, large, and XL. All right, so again, I can put these in the order I want them to be in. All right, so now I'm just going to go back to the attribute screen just so you can see again, this has all of our attributes in here. So has our color, pattern, and size attributes, has the terms for it for each one. So my different colors, my different patterns, and my different sizes. Okay, so now we're going to add a new product. We're just going to click add new over here because it's convenient to do so. And now we are going to create our variable product. All right, so it's the same things as I showed you in the previous product. We'll do, and you do not always have to add categories. I'm just doing this just to show you that it can be done this way. All right, set the product image. I'll set a couple of gallery images. Okay, just randomly selected. Now, down here, well, before I do that, all right. Now down here from this drop-down menu, I'm going to select variable product. So now my options change right here. I can give it a SKU number if I want. I can enable stock management at the product level. Now keep in mind, you might have specific colors, patterns, sizes, etc. that you only have a set number of stock on. You can do that at the variation level. So you don't necessarily need to do that at the main product level unless it's like an overall thing. Okay, so we'll just leave this as is. And also you'll see the sold individually. You'll see that throughout, creating and editing products. Just keep that in mind. Okay. So, and all that means is like only this one item can be bought in a single order. It wouldn't be able to be purchased with other things. Okay. The shipping, still the same. You can do it overall, or if your different options are going to have specific weight and dimensions, you can set it there. But at any rate, you can do that all here. Of course, linked products, upsells, cross-sells, you don't have to do this. Now, you have to add attributes before you can set up your variations, because if we try to go here, it's going to be like before you can add a variation, you need to add some variation attributes on the on the attributes tab. So we'll go here first. We are going to select our attributes. All right. Before well, I'll go ahead and add the rest of them. All right. This is just to give you an idea, okay? So for setting up your attributes, always check off used for variations. Now for the terms, remember those terms we created? We're gonna just click in here and just select whatever we want. You can do select all, select none, or maybe you just wanna do two. We're gonna do two of each. Okay. But we are going to do all sizes, okay? So your attributes can be used for across the board. It doesn't have to be for specific products. You can use them for any product, and you can go in there and create as many attributes as you want with however many terms. There's no limit on that. Yeah, that's pretty much it for that. So once you have everything that you want as your options for, selection on the website, go ahead and hit Save Attributes. And that does that for you. All right. So if you do want to come back in here and you're like, you know what, I think I want to add the rest of these, you can do that as well. Okay. All right. So we're going to just go ahead and move on to variations. To add all of your variations from this drop down, create variations from all attributes, hit go. It's going to ask you if you're sure. Of course you're sure, so you hit OK. And it's going to let you know what you did. You added 16 variations, so we're going to hit OK. So the best way to edit these variations is, once this loads, hit expand. All right, so from here, you can add a specific image for each variation. So if it's, like blue floral, and it's, a small, medium, large, extra large, etc. If they all have different images, you can set it up differently. Or if they're the same image, of course, you can just upload it. And as soon as it's in the media library, it'll be available for selection. Okay, so you have some specific options. If your variations have specific SKUs, you can set that right here. Obviously, you want it to be enabled because if it's not enabled, it will not show up. The only things that are required are a variation price. You don't necessarily have to enter anything else. That's up to you. Okay, so just going to do 10. There's no sale price, but if you did want to set a sale price on it, you totally can. And yeah, you can also add your own descriptions for these particular variations. Okay, and that's it. So we're going to just keep going. Let me just copy this. And we're not going to do images, but just know that you can definitely click on this and this will open up the media library. All right. And now we're just going to keep on going because what it's doing is you have options for every size, color, and pattern that you decided that you wanted to add to this particular product. And I will show you how that will look once I am done adding these things. So all right. Almost done. We just had 3 different patterns in different colors. Okay. We're getting down to the bottom. All right. Now, Usually, now sometimes when you add your attributes and they, turn into variations, sometimes you'll have one page, sometimes you might have 2 pages. So at any rate, you have to save your changes before you go on to the next page. So we're going to go ahead and go to the next page, and we're going to finish. And it'll let you know if you haven't finished entering in everything, okay? So as you can see, that showed up right there. All right, so now that's gone. We got all of our information in our variations. We are all set. Okay, and that's it. So before we publish it, let's preview it so you can see how it looks. All right, just waiting for it to come up. All right, so now as you can see, we have a color that we have to select. So we're just going to do red. Then we have to select a pattern. Then we are going to do that. So as you can see, it brings up the variation description, shows us what the price is. And if I change as you can see, I did a different price for the smaller sizes. And yeah, so if this is all set, you can hit add to cart. But if you were the end user, of course. But if all of this looks good, then you can come back in here and hit publish. So the one thing that we did not do was we forgot to enable reviews. So, and you can do that in a more general way in the settings. And of course, by this point, during production, if you wanted reviews showing on the website, then we would have already set that up for you. Okay. So definitely just keep that in mind. All right. So we're just going to go ahead and publish this, and that takes care of our variable products. So just going to let that load. The last couple of products I'm going to show you how to add. The next one I'm going to show you how to add is a downloadable product. Okay, so we're just going to do add new. And, by this point, you're a pro at adding new products. All right, so we know we got to give it a title. So we're going to call this downloadable product 1. All right. Okay. Oops. And we're just selecting random things for our product image and stuff. If you have a gallery for a downloadable product, it's up to you. Maybe it's like a booklet. Maybe it's, it's whatever you want it to be. Okay. Now, down here, you want to, for a downloadable product, you don't have to change anything from this drop down, but you are going to want it to be virtual because you don't want to charge shipping and you do want it to be downloadable. Okay, so your regular price, if there's a sale price, now you want to add a file. You can select from your media library, or you can, or of course you can upload as needed. This is where you can set the download limit, the download expiry, and things like that. All right. If you want to manage the stock, maybe you want to just like sell a certain amount. That's up to you. Again, with the linked products and the attributes, like you don't necessarily need to do any of that stuff. The reviews you might want to do. Okay. Okay. All right. So we're just going to see how this looks. We're going to just hit preview. And the way how the journey is for this one is if they do add this product, what will happen is in their order confirmation email that they will receive a way to download the product. Okay, so just know that like this is just going straight to them. They can also log into their account if they decide to create one with you. Um, and download it from there, especially if it's like unlimited. And that's that. So, okay, so this looks good. We're going to just go ahead and publish it. And that's it. Okay, so there's just one last product I want to show you, and that's just like a virtual product. Now, it's along the same lines as downloadable. However, it's nothing they can download. So let's do add new. So virtual products can be like, if you want to do a super roundabout way of creating like a gift card, because you don't want to sell, a gift card that, that has like shipping on it or whatever. Maybe you want it to just be digital, but that can be very confusing. So you want to use a plugin if you are going to do gift cards. But virtual products are good for like, maybe it's just like a test product, if you will. So, okay. I'm not going to enter in all the information because at this point you've seen it all. Of course, I can select the category from here. But virtual just means that there's no shipping. So, and it can be a test product. You can make it for a penny. You can make it for 50 cents. That's it. So, that's all for this one. I'm just going to go ahead and publish it just for the sake of us having it in here. But this is usually just for testing purposes because you just want to make sure that your checkout is working as it should. All right. So that covers that. All right. So that literally goes over all of the different, types of products that you can add. I do want to retract one more statement. I have seen that I guess WooCommerce has now provided a way for you to have subscriptions now. So when you come into here, subscriptions is not what I said it was earlier. Like if you purchase something from WooCommerce, that would show under my subscriptions. This is if you are setting up subscription-based services. This is a new feature of WooCommerce. We do not set up membership setups and subscription setups anymore. So for more information on how to set this up, you would need to look over the documentation that WooCommerce provides on this. We can definitely answer any questions that you have, but again, this is a new feature and we no longer do membership and subscription setups, okay? All right, so the last thing I'm gonna show you for WooCommerce is categories. So categories is, this is a more, like you have more options to set up, like a description on your category, an image on your category and stuff like that. The way I always showed you to add categories in, the edit product screen is pretty much, like that was just, all you can do is just add the product name. So from here, you can do this, but also give it a description. And you can also upload and add an image if you want. I'm just going to use this and I'm going to add the new category. And that's how it looks. Okay. Just know that adding an image and adding a description is completely optional. Of course, if you want to add more categories underneath, you can do your subcategories. So and then of course you can do subcategories. All right. And as you can see, it will be like a hierarchy. Okay. So, and as soon as you have products assigned to these categories, they will show up in your categories widget in the sidebar on your shop page. All right. So That concludes our WooCommerce dashboard walkthrough video. If you have questions, please feel free to reach out to our updates team. They are available Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time to 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we thank you very much.